In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports in 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's it for News Tonight. On behalf of the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Preparations for the new value-added tax rate on a wide variety of food items, the work ahead that's going into grocers making the adjustment, and the watchdog agency keeping a close eye on prices. Also, the knock-on effect of the proposed U.S. tariff on Chinese-built vessels could result in a spike in prices and even job losses in the construction sector. Again, another resident has attempted to take their own life, this time a man on Abaco. This is the Bahamas Christian Council calls for a greater focus on mental health. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royston Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Next week, Tuesday, April 1st, is when the government's new 5% value-added tax rate on grocery items will take effect. The tax rate will be stamped on grocery store items like baby food, lunch snacks, frozen food, and fresh fruit and vegetables, but not on deli foods. This also applies to food inside gas stations. Officials at the Consumer Price Commission are closely watching the new prices grocery stores will place on their items. Executive Chairman Senator Randy Roll appeared on last night's edition of ZNS's The Rundown with Clint Watson and explained how his team is preparing for the new prices to ensure a smoother transition nationwide.
Those food stores and gas stations, they would have made some adjustments with their systems. And so, you know, once you go to checkout, whether you're getting groceries or something else, you should see it reflected on your receipt. Now, the good thing about it is some people, some Bahamians who shop often, they know the price of some things. And so they're going to understand or know, have an idea of what they're exactly looking for. And you know, what we want Bahamians to do is to be very vigilant, to take note of it. You know, our teams are going to be there, price inspectors are going to be there, but we need all eyes on deck. We want, if you see something, to report it.
The Consumer Protection Commission implores consumers to better become educated on these prices in order to encounter a good shopping experience. And the good thing is, many consumers are levying complaints when needed.
So far for the year, we've had about 76 complaints, but we're already about $41,000 in refunds that we've been able to get for consumers.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so we're on track to even surpass what the recovery rate was last year, which was some $242,000.
A proposed U.S. tariff on Chinese-built vessels is raising serious concerns across the region. And here in the Bahamas, the construction sector could be among the hardest hit industries. Tonight, the president of the Bahamian Contractors Association is warning of a sharp cost increase and even job cuts, with a potential impact as severe as a COVID-19 pandemic. Devontae Hanna is on the story.
Well, Royston, it's a policy being debated thousands of miles away, but no doubt it's one that could hit workers and consumers here at home. A proposed U.S. tariff of up to $1.5 million per port call on Chinese-built ships is sparking an alarm across the Caribbean, with experts warning of a 60% increase in the cost of shipping. Tonight, we're learning from the president of the Bahamian Contractors Association, Leonard Sands, that this concerning new fee could escalate the cost of construction by up to 25%, and even worse, it can lead to severe job cuts in the sector at rates only last seen in some of the country's most dreadful economic times in recent years.
I think we could be looking at a place that we've not seen in the last 5-7 years, post-story and post the COVID-19, where we could start to see job cuts if this really pans out the way how President Trump is suggesting.
That suggestion is being discussed in a hearing at the United States International Trade Commission. Bahamian Tim Martin, CEO of Tropical Shipping, is also testifying, warning stakeholders of the potential impact it could have for consumers in the region. And in a country heavily reliant on imports, it means items like plywood, cement, steel, and even tiles can all be impacted.
It's safe to say across the board, we can expect the cost of construction materials, if they are on ships that were made in China, will have automatically off the top a 25% increase across the board.
The proposed tariffs could be implemented by early April. San says not much can be done to prepare. Consumers then should brace for impact.
The end consumer is going to expect to receive a 25% increase in cost, which, again, like stated before, is going to make it much more difficult to build houses, improve buildings, and generally make the cost of doing construction more expensive.
Well, the USTR will hold another closed hearing on the proposed tariff tomorrow in Washington, D.C., where Caribbean stakeholders are making the case of why the region should be carved out. Now, of course, this follows the warning from SuperValue founder Rupert Roberts that inflation can increase by 25%. And keeping this in mind, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis last week pledged to adjust policies to ensure Bahamians are able to adjust easily. He told reporters the main focus is to ensure diversification of trade, ultimately eliminating the country's dependency on one single economic powerhouse. Royston.
Thank you very much, Devontae. Meantime, sweeping staff cuts at the U.S.-based National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration could impact the Bahamas' timely access to life-saving alerts from hurricanes and tornadoes. The NOAA is a regulatory agency charged with forecasting and monitoring atmospheric conditions, and countries like the Bahamas rely heavily on the agency for vital, accurate weather data. Managing Director for the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Aaron Sargent, says he's already reached out to his regional counterparts to address this issue.
It is a major concern for most national disaster coordinators, my counterparts in the region. I just recently came from an after-action review on Hurricane Beryl in Barbados, and the main topic at the after-action review is how we as a region could coalesce around one another to support one another. And again, NOAA, FEMA, all USAID provide significant support to the region. And as such, we now have to find creative ways, in which is why we're doing creative things to try and mitigate any potential exposure that the closures or cuts to these entities that may bring.
Sargent says his agency is also hoping to re-engage with the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology to strengthen its regional forecasting capabilities.
We're seeking to kind of go back and review whether or not it's practical for the Bahamas to get back involved from a Met standpoint, a meteorological standpoint, in that because they provide a number of hazard monitoring tools that allow us to see burn scars from satellite imagery of wild land fires, etc., due to temperature rises, flood rises, etc. And so the goal and the beauty of the Caribbean is we all experience the same thing. Interestingly enough, you would find that a number of national disaster coordinators face the same problems.
Should some local businesses charge value-added tax? Well, if you're one of the businesses earning over $100,000 a year and you're not registered with the Department of Inland Revenue, now is the time to do so. Felicity Darville reports on a special two-day symposium taking place catering to all things business.
There are so many questions surrounding starting a business, expanding a business, maybe even reviving a business. Well, on this rare occasion, you've got a one-stop shop right here at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium.
We want you to stop smoking. We want to remind persons that just because you have a pretty flyer and you put it on the car, or you may have a social media page, it does not mean that you are a business. You must have a business license in order to operate a business in the Bahamas.
Now, for those businesses charging VAT when they're not VAT registered, it's time to cease and desist.
DIR is responsible for all legal businesses and entities in the Bahamas, right? It's our job because we cannot police everybody. If you know someone that's charging VAT and is not VAT registered, give us a shout, 225-7280, or send us an email, taxinquiries@bahamas.gov.bs. We will send our team out to deal with those persons. But if you are making over $100,000, we implore you, register for VAT. It is an easy process. We can help you with it. We can walk you through it. And it's something that you must do in accordance with the law.
On Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., if you have any questions about your business or you're seeking funding to take your business to the next level, visit the Inland Revenue Financial Symposium. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Well, Exuma has really outpaced the rest of the country in terms of its strong economic performance, which has been on a steady increase. The island is seeing strong visitor arrivals, an increase in construction, room rentals, and the list goes on. But in tonight's Business Beat, Corval Pyfron reports that stakeholders aren't stopping there and are determined to keep Exuma's good fortunes coming.
There's no denying it. Exuma is in the midst of an economic upswing. The Emerald Isle is riding high and its future success seems almost a given. Almost. Even by more cautious projections, Exuma's economic future appears bright. Businesses are booming, air travel here climbing, infrastructure across the island being upgraded, and opportunities being created in a surplus. But there's still one essential thing still missing: people. Exuma desperately needs more residents. And according to Exuma Chamber of Commerce Chief Aaron Hanna, they'll need places to live too.
A lot of residents here have benefited tremendously from short-term rentals. And so there's been a shift from people renting long-term and now moving into short-term, which is understandable because there's, it's a little bit more lucrative business. But I think long-term housing is going to be needed in order for the island to grow.
Hanna is an optimist about Exuma's future, but he's also pragmatic about what the island needs in order to grow. He credits events like the recent Music and Heritage Festival and the upcoming Family Island Regatta as huge boosts for the island's economy.
Every flight was booked out. You couldn't find a flight to come to Exuma because the Heritage Festival is where it's at this weekend.
The island's MP, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, spoke to ZNS News about Exuma's economy at the recent Music and Heritage Festival, where he sounded determined to keep this momentum going.
We're blessed in Exuma. We've had great fortune to have a good economy, a strong tourism product, and certainly this is an opportunity to showcase who we are, to display much of the musicians from across the country and its great energy.
And so the challenge for the island stakeholders now is building on this magic and ensuring these good fortunes don't change.
I think we're in a good space now. Exuma still has a lot of untapped natural beauty, and we've done a great job preserving that natural beauty. And I think that we're on the right course to continuing to maintain that, as that is what a lot of tourists look forward to.
On the Business Beat, I'm Corval Pyfron.
Long may the economic performance continue. Still to come, meet the newest disaster risk youth ambassadors. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Abaco police trying to piece another attempted suicide investigation together. Authorities confirmed that shortly before noon, a female caller alerted them to a residence on Guana Key where they discovered the 45-year-old man lying down inside. It is alleged the victim ingested a large quantity of over-the-counter medication. He was transported to the clinic for medical attention and further evaluation. Here in the capital, Operation Black Scorpion officers were tipped off around 4 p.m. yesterday to search a bushy area on Rosedale Street off Mackey Street, where they confiscated a quantity of ammunition and suspected marijuana. No arrests were made. Police say the estimated weight of the suspected marijuana is around 11 ounces, with a street value of around $1,000. More homes are on the horizon. That's according to Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the Honorable Keith Bell, who recently announced plans to roll out several new housing projects across the capital. During last week's key presentation in Sir Lyndon Pinling Estates, Minister Bell revealed it's part of the Davis administration's national strategy to expand access to affordable housing.
We have already gotten the approval of Cabinet to develop a Dasra Garden subdivision. Yes. We're about to clear the land very shortly, and that's a subdivision for 160 homes. Yes. We have done Renaissance, and that is a 300 minutes fully built out. It's going to be 300 homes. We're moving on to Pinecrest 2. And even though we are doing 40 homes in there, we have another 30 acres that we can develop. And that's just here in New Providence.
The housing minister hinted that construction is expected to begin in the coming months, and also listed several areas that have been identified for the construction of homes, some of which he claims have been overlooked by successive governments.
You're going to travel with us to see Ocean Hole Estates, where those persons in the affordable homes can actually have panoramic views of the ocean. You're going to go down to San Salvador and see the rent-own program that the homes are, the roofs are on. And in the next 3-4 months, those homes are going to be completed down there. And we're going to take you to Mangrove Bush down in Andrews too. We're going to take you across this archipelago and demonstrate to you on Grand Bahama. We're going to take you into ghetto garden villas where no government before this Davis administration has been able to do nothing with this area called the ghetto. We've already acquired a number of properties. We're about to demolish a number of buildings, and we're ready to start building.
The Creative and Performing Arts School, scheduled to open in Nassau this September, got a big boost Monday with a partnership with the Beverly Hills, California-based United Talent Agency. Project leader Ian Poitier says the tertiary institution staff will include Bahamians with industry-based compensation.
I just wanted to say something about the sort of remuneration package we'll be offering. This ties into a broader question around finance. With so many people coming and going and so many people at different levels and different levels of experience, I want to make sure Bahamians aren't left behind. So apart from the training and skills development, it's very important that remuneration sits at a level which works here but also internationally. So we're going to be referencing Bahamian staffing packages, but also international staffing packages, as well as industry staffing packages. We don't want to kind of be so far out of industry norms that we become a kind of crazy outlier. This has got to be a great place to work, and it's got to be a place that people want to come to and people want to stay at and develop the institution.
The Minister of Education is a major partner in this government-led initiative designed to boost the orange economy. Minister of Education Glenys Hannah Martin laments presently that there are not enough art and performing arts teachers in high schools locally, so her ministry engaged in a pact with a renowned dance agency.
Entered an agreement with the Shirley Hall Bass Foundation, which is now training teachers so that we can begin offerings in dance and drama, etc., and to do it in a skilled way. So teachers are being trained in this regard, and we would want to work with CAPAS to develop the skill set of teachers even more. So we envision that the creative arts is important as a general norm, but for those students who are particularly interested in this as a career, that it will feed into campus as a tertiary institution.
10th grade Aquinas student Gabriel Saunders and St. Andrew's Anglican School student Kiana Roll are the country's newest disaster risk management youth ambassadors. The youngsters edged out 10 other Bahamians with their winning video presentations on climate change and environmental stewardship. Both students will act as disaster preparedness and risk reduction advocates. Minister of State with responsibility for disaster risk management, the Honorable Leon Lundy, applauded the ambassadors during a ceremony at the Disaster Reconstruction and Authority headquarters on Gladstone Road.
I extend my heartfelt congratulations to you both. Your speeches were compelling, your passion undeniable, and your commitment to our nation inspiring. You have demonstrated not only an understanding to the challenges we face, but also the courage to confront them with conviction and with purpose. Gabrielle, you reminded us that climate change is not a distant threat. It is a present reality, demanding urgent action. Our beautiful islands stand on the front lines of rising sea levels and increasingly severe hurricanes.
The young ambassadors received laptops and prizes for their success and are now optimistic about their future.
I feel great that I was selected to be a youth ambassador for the DRM, and the way I'm gonna take this out is to help people and make sure that everybody is safe no matter what through any kind of crisis.
This is a great opportunity to spread awareness about climate change and how it really affects the Bahamas and what we should do to, fix it or to at least be prepared for it. And I feel very prepared.
Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
Coach Yo and the Lady Rabs are back in the Sweet 16. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Tuesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Coach Yo, Ray McCollins, and the Ole Miss Lady Rebels are heading back to the Sweet 16 after upsetting the fourth-ranked Baylor Bears on Sunday with a 69-63 win. Gillette McCoon has now guided the Rebels to its second appearance in the Sweet 16 in the past 3 seasons, last reaching it in 2023. This is a 12th trip in program history. McCoon improving her national tournament record to 5-3 in her time in Oxford. The Rebs' patented defense, their calling card in this one, as the Rebels forced a season-high 21 turnovers for Baylor to secure the win.
It's satisfaction because I really enjoy coaching this team, and this team has had a goal that they want to go to the Final Four. And we don't get to stop tonight. And we will be one of the remaining 16 teams that will be competing. And you don't have a chance if you're out. So as far as I'm concerned, we will be one of the 16 teams that has a chance to win a national championship. So it's satisfaction in that regard. I'm at peace what happened in the past, because for me, that's all a part of being here, and that's what makes it special. So just really, it was really gratifying when the buzzer sounded and we had the victory.
Not so much luck on the men's side. VJ Edgecombe and the Baylor Bears would run into a buzzsaw in top-seeded Duke and projected #1 overall pick Cooper Flagg. Baylor would initially put up a good fight and kept it close before the Blue Devils would flip the switch and cruise to an 89-66 win. VJ pouring in a side-high 16 points in what may potentially be his final collegiate game, with many projecting him to be a top 5 pick in this year's NBA draft.
Duke is a well-executed team, well-coached team. You know, they play hard. You know, they just made shots. We had a ton of mistakes, and I mean, you know, they separate from that. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, and they went on a run. They went on a pretty big run, so that's what caused it, to be honest. So yeah.
And with the 2025 Carifta Games in Trinidad are right around the corner, Bahamas Aquatics hoping to secure its 7th straight Carifta swim title. Eugene Stewart was poolside and caught up with some of the team members to see how things are shaping up.
On the hunt for their 7th straight title, the Bahamas' Carifta swim team began their training and preparation at the Betty Kelly Canning Aquatic Center. We caught up with executives and swimmers on their preparation thus far.
So far, so good. We chose our team last week, Sunday. The team had their first practice on Saturday in Nassau as well as in Freeport. And we are ready to go. The team is practicing with their clubs during the week, and they meet as a team on Saturdays. Looking forward to big competition. You know, in Trinidad, we have seen their social media posts, but we are going for that big number 7. 7 is the number of completion, and we are going for that big number 7. So we've been preparing. Our athletes have been working hard, and they are determined to bring home the gold.
Team captains William Farrington and Elder Berg share their leadership roles and path to success.
Just simple things like with getting everyone up in the morning, spreading positivity and everything. You know, just making people are like good and everything, and when they're down, give them a word of confidence and boost everyone, you know.
This is my 4th year being on the team, and I think every year, I think the preparation is just to make sure that we're at all our practices and that we're giving in, we're doing our best, and just to make sure that, I don't know, we're all, you know, working as a team and encouraging each other.
We hear from a veteran as well as 2 first-time swimmers on what they can expect down in Trinidad.
Feeling pretty good. I'm really excited, and the competition is really interesting, and I think it's going to be a great meet. No, it's really exciting. It is a little bit like scary, but I think pushing together as a team will do really good.
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I've been training very hard for this Carifta, and I hope I could go out there, put on a show, and get some medals. I work very hard. I'm a little nervous at the same time, but I'm very excited for my first Carifta.
Well, for practice it's kind of hard, but then I just have to realize that that's what I have to do for Carifta so I can be good at it. And how I feel is that, like I'm just excited that I can go, and this is my first time doing it.
Team Bahamas is scheduled for competition April 19th to the 22nd in Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
And that's a look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We had some good downpours here in the capital earlier tonight, and as you can see on our satellite picture, lots of the wet stuff are lurking around. Much of it is being advected towards the north and east over the Atlantic, so we could get 1 or 2 rounds later on tonight. But the heavy stuff occurring around the Grand Bahama, Abaco area. Also, Andros had some heavy showers. Also, in the Lutra area, they had some heavy thunderstorms as well earlier this evening. And your temperatures around the islands this evening, Marsh, Abaco, 66 degrees. They have some heavy cloud covered in, perhaps some showers taking place there. Green Toll Key, a little warmer at 71 degrees. 71 at Freeport, Grand Bahama. In the Berry Islands, 74. Allenstown, Bimini, also 74 degrees. 78 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound in Lutra, 75. Otterstown, Canal, 75. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space at Andros, we're recording 74s, and pick up some more 75s in Georgetown, Exuma, Rum Key, and also in San Salvador. Ragged Island, Clownstown, Oak Island, and Crooked Island, Acklands, all at 76. Betsy Bay make 1 to 77. Manatee-Town and I will have a temperature of 79 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your forecast tonight, we're looking at cloudy with pockets of showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be heavy at times. 72 degrees is your expected low temperature tonight, and tomorrow we're looking at increasing sunshine as we head into the afternoon. So the morning will start off with some clouds and possibly some morning showers as well. But as the afternoon rolls in, we will see an increase in that sunshine. High temperature, 82 degrees tomorrow. Extended weather forecast, beautiful weather as of tomorrow afternoon. Thursday looking very great, windy conditions. So if you are planning on boating, this is certainly not a good week for boating. Those windy conditions will continue right into the weekend. And those temperatures, they will be in the low 70s for the greater part of this week. Royston.
Thank you very much, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.